No, February 20th is my birthday. These are the words that I hear every February 20th for 19 years since Kristin could first speak. It was a game we used to play on the telephone when she was young. Kristin and I shared a special bond. We shared the same birth date. Since her death, my birthdays have been bittersweet and filled with mixed emotions. Kristin really valued family time. I'll always remember one particular Hawaiian vacation, her pleading with me not to leave early, standing in front of my car as I was trying to leave. Little did I know at the time, Kristin was right. Family time is precious. I also will always remember us sharing our 16th and 30th birthdays in Sacramento. Kristin was the first baby I ever babysat. Much the way all of us remember what we were doing when we heard about 9/11, I will always remember what I was doing when my mom called and told me that Kristin was missing. The long car ride down to Cal Poly with my Uncle Stan the next morning. Looking up at the moon our first night in San Luis Obispo, and my uncle wondering if Kristin could see the moon from somewhere. Leaving at 5 a.m. the following weekend for an 8 a.m. meeting with the Cal Poly police chief, only to have the police chief never to show up for the meeting. When my uncle and I heard for the first time the unthinkable from the district attorney investigator that Kristin was not alive and they had a suspect. Searching for Kristin's body with my uncle. All of these events are surreal to me. My whole view of the world changed forever. Lost was my belief that institutions and people would take care enough to do the right thing when someone goes missing. Initially, we were basically on our own, stopping at every place we could to place missing posters from San Luis Obispo to the Bay Area. My aunt calling every law enforcement agency in the country asking for help. Securing and funding billboards to bring attention to Kristin's disappearance. Searching for Kristin's body. During the past 26 and a half years, I have seen the best and the worst in human behavior. We have encountered many heroes and many villains that you have seen throughout this trial. After Kristin's murder, San Luis Obispo became a different place to me. At the time of Kristin's murder, I was 33 years old, without children, and my Uncle Stan and Aunt Denny were 51 years old, unmarried, with 3 beautiful children. Now married with children of my own, I better understand the rage and pain that they have felt. I have seen my aunt and uncle suffer with what no parent should ever have to endure. They have shown unimaginable strength. They have stayed by each other's side and raised 2 beautiful, successful children, while Kristin's bedroom remained empty. Most families do not survive this type of tragedy. I've also seen firsthand how Kristin's death and now the trial have impacted Matt and Lindsay throughout their lives. Matt was a sophomore in high school. Lindsay was in 8th grade. But now, as adults, we have all struggled with reliving the events of Kristin's murder in this trial. Matt, Lindsay, my sister Valerie, and I have all struggled with when and how to tell our children about Kristin's murder. I've seen Matt question whether he did enough at the time, though he was just a kid. Both Matt and Lindsay were kids that had to grow up way too early. Perhaps the most disturbing thing about Kristin's murder is that the defendant has lived a life of freedom for 26 plus years. The defendant was free for 26 years while we searched for Kristin's body throughout San Luis Obispo County, spending countless months missing work, missing our families, getting poison oak. The defendant was free while my aunt and uncle searched for answers, pressing for progress from 26 years of different university presidents, county sheriffs, district attorneys, living life the best that they could without Kristin. Not only was the defendant free, but he continued to harm women and continued to this day to know the location of Kristin's remains. Should this defendant ever be considered for probation, I only ask the judge or the probation board to show the same compassion that was shown to Kristin the early morning of May 25th, 1996. The same compassion that was shown to my uncle when he went to 710 White Court to ask for help and was told, "You better leave or someone is going to get shot." The same compassion the defendant has showed to the Jane Does that testified in this trial and all his other victims. The same compassion that has been shown to Kristin's body for 26 and a half years and continues to this day. Instead, direct your compassion to Kristin, the innocent young life that was taken by the defendant. Direct your compassion to the defendant's victims. And more importantly, direct your compassion to my aunt and uncle and respect the 26 years that they have endured. Thank you very much.